Oh, great. And y'all, are y'all still seeing the screen that's not interfering with y'all at all, guys? Okay, awesome. So I just want to make sure I got this. So hard to document when we get recorded where the swing longs are. So no swing long yet. I will, if it triggers, I will point it out. I'm kind of torn. I'd like it to rip all the way down. Remember, this was our target down here earlier, right? This 1871 is our downside target. It's just getting late in the day. Okay, I'll be back in just a second. I'm going to brew some coffee. I think the cool part of this, like if we go through the day, so look, even if, let's say you didn't get all, let's say you were just scalping, right? So we know here that we have a swing shorten effect, right? If you just keep working your 50-60 retraces up, even from a scalping standpoint, as it's pushing up, you know that you had the edge of having the momentum, to the downside, right? We get another swing short indicator. Again, if all you do through here is work the short side of your scalp trades to the downside instead of trying to force to the upside, even if you didn't take the swing to the downside, you're getting paid. Same thing here. You start working to the upside as it's dipping down. Again, from a scalping perspective, which I haven't covered very much, you get paid to the upside. And then again, it was pretty hard to goof a short once we had the short side signal triggered, right? So there's more than one way to skin the cat, but I think right now the swings with the rotation size that we have are the most effective way. If I could get a little bit of rest, I'd probably be a little more aggressive in these and making these pay. Okay, so I've already taken off all my risk on all the options. They're either going to go out at zero or I walk out with the profit I already have in my pocket. I have no risk there, so I might as well take a moonshot to the close, and that'll pretty much wrap up an awesome day. Does anyone have any questions to this point? How I could have handled, or criticisms? How I could have handled it better, besides Brian, besides my arms being, breaking my arms? There really wasn't. Well, there wasn't. Okay, so Adam, I'll step you through this again on NQ. So remember, good question. So the entry goes like this, right? So let's just step you all the way through the sequence, right? Okay, so short sequence, right? We triggered long here. So for the long, here was entry 1. Here was entry 2. This is the most aggressive. This is the second most aggressive. There was no 3 or 4. The 4 here would have been if we'd come down and trapped and pushed back up, right? So then we triggered on this bar, swing short. That was entry 1, right? The 50-60 would have been right here. That would have been 2. And so we didn't get an entry 2. There's pretty much an entry 1. And you pretty much had to be balls to the wall aggressive to get that trade. I don't know that it would have. I don't know that it would have happened, quite frankly. Where you got. I mean, it's rare for me to take entry number 1 unless I'm absolutely convicted that we're pushing to the low. But it also, Adam, it also swings in with the concept of the day, where from this morning, right, where I said. So if we look at the bigger picture on the regular chart. Which was, I said, if we didn't get up, the circle was the original upside target. And I said if we failed to get up here, or if we got up here and rejected, that the natural's target back to the downside is right here at 1871 3/4. And that was from this morning's meeting. Okay, and so it did fall in line. If you were working it for the target, once you got that short signal, you could have taken that. Of course, had I known that too, I would have just said, well, hell yeah, it's going to go straight to 1871. I would have pushed it. I didn't. I still had a good day. Obviously, I'm cleaning up on the options, and I actually had I had a nice day all the way around. Let's put it that way. At any rate, does that make sense? Okay. So the answer to that question is, if you take entry 1, which I mentioned, you just have to have and entry 1 was over here, right, on this trade? But what I was mentioning earlier, I moved it. Hold on a sec. That was entry 1 on this bar. But Adam, what I was also mentioning is, so I have several guys that I'm coaching one-on-one, and what they're doing is they're adapting the swings, that once they get the swing long or the swing short, they're working on getting swing setups they're taking their scalps, but only in the direction of the larger swing. And that's how they're using this. Whether it's because they can't handle the stop that's involved or the time factor that's involved, they're simply using these swings to set them up. And as you can see, it would have worked really nicely most of the day. This would have caused you a little bit of heat in here. But for the rest of the day, if you'd worked the long side after we got the swing long, and the short side after we got the swing long, obviously that would have been really kick-ass, right? So, pretty freaking amazing day. So we'll see where we're at the end. If we get a swing long print, which we're close, we've got the beginnings, but we only got 10 minutes left. So there's no way we're going to. I'm going to take a swing long, even if I get triggered in. We're coming right into Globex low here at 1871. If I was short, I would cover. This is probably a good place to take off some of those options. And so as to not be a pig, I am going to take the 4064s off at $36, closing those binary calls. Consider that. Well, why don't we just make it an even 40? And what is that? That's plus $42, $42.75 per option. And the 1882 calls are trading at $41. I'm closing those as well. I'm not going to be a pig on that. Well, let's be a pig on that. They're already paid for. What the heck? Strike that. And then the US, the NQs, the 4080s, which we're currently trading at 40.30. I'm going to see if I can get those to go out at 0 as well. Okay, so we'll see where we are at the close here. We're right on Globex low. This was the target. Okay, if you shorted and held from the time we got the original swing short up here, remember the original short from the time we shorted this morning, the original stop was all the way up here at 1948. Never got challenged. Okay, we never got filled. I tried to re-up this at 1938. We never got filled here, right? So the only way to have had this is if you were riding the short still here. And I was willing to take a 50-60 retrace here. We never got it to the short side, but we had the options, right? And most importantly, we had the scale. Anyways, I'll be back in just a couple minutes, guys. Remember when I showed y'all the other day that there'd be days where we would just roll over at the end of the day and run up, and that's why I was so excited about the market that's coming up, and that is why I am so excited about the market that's coming up. We killed it in these options. For those of you who took them, congratulations. And that is just killer, 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 killer. If we can keep this close below 1982 here, which is still possible. Remember, it's a 415 close. But if we can keep them below, we will take on those 1982s, we sold them for 89 bucks. I mean, that's that's just awesome. We've closed the 4064s and we're still out on the 4080s. So, I mean, guys, you got to celebrate when you get days like this. I mean, man, the movement in the market like this is just freaking awesome. So 10 minutes to the close. I'm going to brew myself some coffee, and I will pop back and look at the close. Remember, do not get overly bearish at the end of the day. These ripbacks can be vicious. Please take money off the table. Thanks, Randy. So I think it's a rare day where I call my shot and actually get it, but to this degree. But that was pretty much spot on for today. And all of us are capable of getting these, guys. All of us are. I really believe that. So we will have, all of us, big days as you move up in size, as you follow the trade plan. Nothing that you had to do to take a trade today requires you to be off a plan trade-wise, right? We didn't have to cowboy any of it. And, well, I guess a little bit of NQ. We cowboyed a little bit there at the high. When was it a big fat round number? Anyways, that's all we got, man. I'm going to go. I'm glad I'm tired because it sucked to be stressed and tired. I'm just tired. So I'll be back in just a couple minutes. We'll see where this thing is right at the close. Hey, guys, going into the close here, and just to make sure I don't get caught in a vicious rip up. 4080s, closing the 4080s at $7. Balance. We'll just make it $8 to make sure you get filled. And that is plus 82 bucks per option. Okay, and then we got the 4064s already done with, and I'm going to close the 1982s just to make sure that I get out of here complete. So please post those at, just put them at 11 bucks on the balance. You can get them at 9 right now. And that, my friends, is a kick-ass day. Wow. There's almost no chance they go back, but just to make sure you're on the safe side. And that is, we entered those at 89, so 89 from 11. That is 89, 79, $78 per contract. And again, to go back and just reiterate what we did this morning, right? And thank you, Randy. That was really kind words you said earlier. Okay, we said this was our target. Was this 1870 to 1850 level on the downside? If we failed to get the upside high, which was our target right here, right? The failure to get Monday's high was what opened the downside selling. It just took forever. And then look at the swings. I mean, the swings were just perfect, right? Swing short, swing short, swing long, swing short. I mean, and again, I just want to address one thing. The stops are a pain, but the stops, the beautiful thing about the swings, guys, is that it naturally tells you what the stop you need, right? Part of the hard part about the zones is you don't know when you have to add or subtract the you don't know when you have to add or subtract the zones from, you know, how much stop you need behind. The swing trades adjust for you automatically. You know exactly where you need the stop to be. Then it's just a question of, can you afford to take it? Or can you take a 50-60? But also it allows you to set up scalps in the direction of the swing without, look, as long as you stayed on the side of the trade, it was very hard to get hurt anywhere but right in here. Everything you took that was on a retrace here into the short side area, right, pretty much paid you, right? Swing long, same thing, pushes down, paid you back to the upside. Then finally we get a swing short at the end of the day, and it just gets crushed. So anyways, I enjoyed having everyone in the room today. If you have any questions or something you need me to cover in the member trade review, let me know. I'm going to go take a break, and then I'll come back this afternoon and set up the charts for tomorrow and do a quick trade review. So hit me on email. I think everyone got paid today again, right? Everyone who traded got paid, I'm pretty sure. And we blew it out in the options. All those options are going out at 0, it looks like. So where are we closing on NQ? Wow, NQ fell 200 points from the high today. That's freaking awesome. Okay, no one has any questions. That was cool. That gets me excited. I like having big days like that. We'll talk later, guys.